Hello and a very warm welcome to the brand new edition of Parliament This Week, your weekly roundup of all important developments in Parliament. I'm Kriti Mishra and now let's begin the show. There will be no winter session of Parliament this year amid the cases of COVID-19 pandemic. The government is willing to have the next session of Parliament at the earliest, and it would be appropriate to have the budget session 2021 in January, keeping in mind the unprecedented circumstances created by the COVID-19 pandemic. Take a look at this report.
Replying to a letter of the leader of Congress in Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, on a session to discuss the new farm laws, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said that all political parties favoured scrapping the session to avoid any COVID spread and going straight to the budget session in January. The minister said that winter months are very crucial for managing the pandemic because of recent spurt in cases during this period, particularly in Delhi.
अभी स्पाइक हुआ है इधर नंबर कोविड का, इसलिए सब ने बताया अभी ऐसे जनवरी में करने वाले हैं. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट भी अभी नहीं है क्योंकि 3-4 महीने के अंदर ही हम सेशन बुला रहे हैं. बजट सेशन पूरा चलेगा. हमारा इच्छा है, सरकार का इच्छा है कि सुचारू रूप से पूरा जो रेगुलर बजट सेशन हम हर साल चलाते हैं वो पूरा चलाना चाहिए. ये तो हमारा इच्छा भी है और उसके लिए हम तैयारी भी कर रहे हैं.
By convention, Parliament meets for 3 sessions in a year. As per the Constitution, there should not be a gap of 6 months or more between 2 sessions. The last session of Parliament commenced on 14th of September 2020 and was scheduled to end on the 1st of October, but came to an early end on 23rd of September on account of pandemic spread. The session came after a delay due to antivirus logistics and was one of the most productive sessions, with 27 bills passed in 10 continuous sittings. Rajya Sabha did not have winter sessions in 1975, 1979 and 1984. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Dr. K. Keshav Rao, Chairman of Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Industry, presented important reports of the committee to Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu. Take a look.
The Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Industry has adopted and presented to Chairman the 300th, 301st, 302nd and 303rd report. The 303rd report examined downturn in the auto sector due to COVID-19 pandemic, due to which the industry suffered an estimated rupees 2,300 crore losses per day and an estimated job loss was about 3.45 lakh. The committee also suggested measures for attracting investment in the auto sector, including overhauling of prevalent land and labour laws. For strengthening of the MSME sector, the panel emphasized on the need for exploring the concept of artificial intelligence in its 300th report of the Committee on Demands for Grant for the year 2020-21. It also recommended setting up of Market Intelligence Cell for the MSMEs. The 304th and 302nd report on the action taken by the Ministry of Heavy Industries on the recommendations contained in the committee's report on the demands for grant for the year 2020-21 was also presented. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Vice President of India and Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday advocated a shift in the attitude of governments, legislatures and Parliament towards the farmers. Here's a detailed report.
Addressing the 41st Convention of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu highlighted importance of developing crops that can withstand drought, flood and disease. He emphasized the need to ensure remunerative prices to farmers and food security to people.
With more than 50% of our population still depend on agriculture for their livelihood, this sector is the backbone of our rural economy. Therefore, the need of the hour is to make agriculture climate resilient, profitable and productive, while ensuring food and nutritional security to millions of people.
Cautioning about negative impact of climate change on agriculture and food systems in coming decades, the Vice President called for development of technologies and methods which can reduce the vulnerabilities of small and marginal farmers.
The climate change is real. We have to keep that also in mind and formulate our policies, our programs. That's why I always say, nature culture together for better future. We have to understand the challenges that are thrown up by the climate change, including the present pandemic.
Referring to agriculture as backbone of rural economy, Naidu said the agriculture has always been an integral part of Indian culture and civilization. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And expressing concern over the future of media and journalism and the sanctity of news in the face of disruptive technological advances, Vice President of India and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has urged all the stakeholders to ensure credible journalism, since media is an effective tool of empowerment of people for informed public discourse.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu delivered the M.V. Kamath Memorial Endowment Lecture in Hyderabad. Speaking at length on journalism, past, present and future, the Vice President listed the threats facing the media, including the disruptions caused by the internet.
Disinformation in the form of paid and fake news, journalism of false crusades, disruption caused by the internet and the future of media. These are some of the important issues that are agitating the minds of the people.
The Vice President voiced concern over the implications of the growing instant journalism triggered by internet and social media expansion in the form of propagation of fake news and erosion of journalistic norms and ethos. He also referred to the financial implications for traditional media like newspapers, whose products are being leveraged by technology giants who do not share revenues.
Some countries are taking measures to ensure revenue sharing by the social media giants with the print media. We also need to take a serious look at this problem and come out with effective guidelines.
The Vice President urged media persons to keep news and views strictly separate, without allowing each of them masquerading as the other. He also stressed on the need to stem the decline in journalistic values and ethos. He also complimented the media organizations for standing up to the crisis unleashed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Parliamentary Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice met on Wednesday. The panel is analysing legislative impact assessment. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu had earlier pitched for a detailed legislative impact assessment for informed lawmaking. The Parliamentary Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice met on Wednesday. It heard from Senior Advisor Tata Trust on the subject of legislation and legislative impact assessment, status in India and way forward. Legislative impact assessment is a new lawmaking process to realise the stated objectives of various laws. It involves reviewing the impact of legislative proposals on social, economic, environmental and institutional factors. On previous occasions, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has advocated detailed legislative impact assessment. He said it would be useful to indicate such impact assessment in the legislative proposals for wider dissemination among all the stakeholders. Rajya Sabha Chairman said that inter-ministerial consultations are held before the Cabinet considered and approved legislative proposals, but the scope of undertaking and indicating the impact of such proposals is limited in the present context. He said that social impact assessment could indicate the social changes that flow from the implementation of a particular law, while the economic impact assessment could throw light on how much the law can address existing inequity. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. And the Committee on MP Lads Rajya Sabha met on Monday. The committee looks into various aspects of the MP Lad scheme. It examined various complaints received from members regarding smooth implementation of the MP Lad scheme. The committee took up the memorandum on non-operation of MP Lad scheme for 2 years, financial year 2020-21 and financial year 2021-2022 due to the outbreak of COVID pandemic. It reviewed the status of transfer of consented funds and progress in reconstitution and rehabilitation works carried out in areas affected by natural calamities. It also considered the memorandum on constitution of monitoring committee consisting of members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to oversee MP Lad scheme at the district level. And the Parliamentary Committees on Railways, Defence, Information Technology, Food and Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution met on Wednesday. Here are the details.
The Parliamentary Committee on Defence was briefed by representatives of Ministry of Defence on introduction to rank structure of Defence Forces, including their uniforms, stars and badges. The panel also reviewed the working of cantonment boards. The Parliamentary Committee on Railways was briefed by representatives of Ministry of Railways on the impact of COVID-19 on rail operations. Indian Railways undertook several new measures to provide necessary facilities for comfortable travel amid unprecedented outbreak of coronavirus. More than 4,347 Shramik special services were operated by Indian Railways to transport nearly 60 lakh people. The Parliamentary Committee on Information Technology also met on Wednesday. On the agenda was evidence from representatives of the Facebook on safeguarding citizens' rights and prevention of misuse of social and online news media platforms, including special emphasis on women's security in digital space. The Parliamentary Committee on Food and Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution adopted draft report on action taken by the government on the observations of the panel. It also heard from the representatives of the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution on the price rise of essential commodities, causes and effects. The Joint Committee on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 took up clause-by-clause consideration of the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Speaker Om Birla, Union ministers and opposition leaders on Sunday paid tributes at the Parliament complex to those who lost their lives in the 2001 Parliament attack. So that's all we have for you in this edition of Parliament this week. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV.
Defeat coronavirus.